I'm not much of a gamer, but when I play, I realized I incorporate a playing style akin to my life. See, some people like to go all out attack mode right from the get-go, but some, like me, get the power-ups first so that defeating the obstacles that lay ahead become easier. Some may ruin the experience of the game by speed running ahead, whilst I'm the type of guy to play all the cutscenes to know how the story unfolds. To go slow and be intentional with my experience, and understand the game before I beat it. Some people, unfortunately stuck in a rat race of their lives, slaves to their dead-end jobs who only know one way forward to push all the time, are constantly trying to keep the engine of life at full tilt, bereft of any terror. In order to get ahead of the curveball life throws at you, it's vital to work on yourself as early as possible. If you elevate your life early, the remainder of your life will be so much more smooth sailing. It's better to have a proper ship than a boat full of holes desperately trying to stay afloat. This way of thinking is what my friend Philip refers to as the lubrication to the engine of society. But as with anything else in life, being lubrication isn't easy. I have this half-baked theory that I'll one day go full nerd on: simulation theory. A theory that suggests we live in a simulation, being controlled by a higher dimensional being, unbeknownst to us. But when we control our characters in a game, perhaps what's happening is that we then become those sentient beings ourselves, creating characters who are unaware they are in a simulation. Perhaps we are building a world for them that one day becomes intelligent enough to realize it is being controlled and would then hence want to break free. I'm not saying there is a right way to play a game. In the game of life, there's multiple endings according to the paths you decide to take. Maybe enforcing each other's beliefs, aka game choices you decided on, is not bad, just a reflection of how society should function. But we deem certain traits as negative, when it could be a positive for some other person. One outcome of the game is no better version than another. Which you decide is the best part of you is simply your bias, not your actual will. Perhaps you really are then a true representation of the character you play. Maybe this game and this video itself is a bias. Love a good paradox. With this in mind, I became thinking like the person I am not, or tried to change others to be like me. Inevitably, I think we all have to change in order to experience life in all its forms, rather than be held hostage by some unknown, intangible, invisible force that tells us we have to stick to our divisions, rather than be in unison as one. Which brings me to manipulation. Yes, its definition suggests that it's a negative thing. But honestly, if you think about it, we all do it in moderation. And by right, should be doing it. Micro-manipulation for macro good. Because how else can we guide our compatriots towards a better future, if not by convincing them to follow a path that may otherwise be uncharted territory? That's how we know some of us in society are indeed the lubrication to the engine, keeping it running efficiently. I think artists in general may not always have the academic wits, but are definitely more emotionally intelligent than the average person. It isn't easy to create something beautiful and receive the praises of an audience that oohs and ahs with your art. Imagine being able to touch someone's soul by presenting a story of a stranger that somehow feels very close to heart. We still tear up at an emotional scene and still relate to a song lyric. Clearly, artists are manipulating us emotionally into believing and being one with their art. Artists don't tell the truth. They make you feel it. It's as close as one could get to getting intoxicated by the art of manipulation, and that's a dangerously beautiful line to thread on. Adolescence is an excellent weekend binge watch kind of show that you must check out for its technical achievements. But what struck me the most about this show were the conversations being carried out by the police. Their methodical approach to the criminal investigation, how they carefully laid the pieces for the suspect to fall right into their trap, was a beautiful depiction of manipulation at its finest. When I first moved to Pune a little more than a month ago now, I was bonding with my roommate and cousin, Yash. He's a gamer and an extremely busy corporate lackey. So the only free time we may get together is when he's back home late from work and he's de-stressing by killing some zombies or whatever. Compared to the other times when we have bonded, I noticed he opened up a lot more while we played. Perhaps it was a shared interest in a hobby, or perhaps it was simply my presence near him in an activity he finds comfort in that helped us get closer. I realized with each passing day what minor things I can change in my behavior that can make the interaction between us smoother. After all, we did get into a fight within our first week of moving in together, and I was keen on making sure we can reach an optimal state of being roomies in cohesion. Slowly but surely, it was manipulation on both of our behalves to see what is something we can micro-adjust in our behaviors in order to appease to the other person, and silently agree to make room for each other's quirks. We may be different people, but understanding and appreciating the existence of those differences in order to still coexist peacefully is, I think, the beauty of life. The beauty of fixing your life's algorithm. So anyway, go out there and get your feelings and emotions manipulated by your friends, family, strangers, politicians, and artists. Sometimes getting gaslit is fun. You won't know until you get burned, and then you can do it yourself. Welcome to the game. The controls are janky, the rules unclear, and everyone's playing their own version. Good luck. Just don't forget, even the NPCs think they're real.